Hello, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's rant is going to be titled, Where is the Line Drawn? Because I feel like when you are talking about, specific topics and, you're discussing certain things, I think to be able to draw the line on things, and the line needs to be drawn eventually, because a lot of the time you'll talk to somebody and, or talk to multiple people at once, or you'll listen to other people talk. And a lot of the time they're talking about a certain topic or they're debating something. And, you don't always know exactly where the line is drawn with certain people. Say, you're talking about abortion or something. And, one person thinks that, the line should be drawn at getting an abortion once the woman's pregnant at, 12 weeks, and another person thinks the line should be drawn when the woman's pregnant for 25 weeks or something. Every person has to eventually draw the line of where they say enough, Where is the line drawn, really? Because when you talk to, like I said, when you talk to certain people, again, the line is drawn at a different, it's drawn at a different spot. Like, not everyone has the same, part of where they draw a line, and, everyone has a limit, everyone has limits and stuff. But that's what I've noticed talking to different people and listening to other people talk, because I do a lot of listening to people debate on YouTube, because I like to learn different things. And maybe I can even use their arguments in my own debates and stuff. And that's one of the things that I've seen listening to these videos and watching them, is that a lot of people, like I said, have a very different opinion on where the line should be drawn on certain topics and stuff like that. So it's really hard for them to really talk to each other. And, it's kind of similar to my other video where I talked about being on the same page. I guess it's very similar to that, because, again, I don't want to repeat myself if you've already listened to that video, but a lot of the time people don't really get along or are able to have a productive conversation if they're not talking about the same thing and have a part where they think the line should be drawn. Granted, I understand that people have different opinions on what they think should be the limit, but, it can be very difficult for people, like I said, to talk when the line is different, when the line should be drawn. And, another aspect of this that I really want to talk about is, how am I supposed to know where the line is drawn for somebody? How am I supposed to know someone's limits, When I'm talking to somebody, let's say, I'm talking about something and it's a pretty serious topic for me. How am I supposed to know where their line's drawn, where they think that I'm taking the topic too serious, Everyone's line's drawn differently. I don't know where your line is drawn specifically, so I can't know when you think something's too much or too little. So it's very difficult talking to people, because I'll take something offensive or something like that, and people tell me I'm being too emotional. I need to stop taking things so serious. It's not that serious, which I've already made a rant about. But I don't know when people's lines drawn about when things are too serious. I don't know when their line's drawn on that. So, we all have limits, like I've said, but it can be very difficult finding out other people's limits. And usually when you find out other people's limits, it's usually too late and things have already been said. So I don't know if you're supposed to go out and ask people what their limits are, but I feel like that would be a pretty good thing if people could start doing that, asking people where the line's drawn before you have a debate on something. Establish the parameters of when you both think the line should be drawn, especially when you're talking about a certain topic. Try to outline the basics of the discussion of the limits and stuff, because I feel like a lot of people don't establish a limit on the things they're talking about. So, maybe if you're having a discussion or talking to somebody, if you know where the line's drawn, you can know how to navigate talking to them, or if it's a debate, maybe you can navigate that a little bit better if you outline like the basics of where the line's drawn. But, anyways, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. That's all I want to share for now. Thank you for listening. Have a good one. Goodbye.